practice with you, and you won't really need any props unless you want to have props with you. You could have yoga blocks, which look like this. You could also maybe have a strap, but you won't need it. All right, so go ahead and find a comfortable seat. A comfortable seat could mean that you're seated onto something so that your knees and your hips are in line. It could also mean that you're seated on a couch or a chair. And once you find your comfortable seat, go ahead and close your eyes. With your eyes closed, do a full body scan. You can start at the top of your head and work your way down to the tips of your toes. You could also start at the tips of your toes and work your way to the top of your head. The goal here is to create body awareness. As you're doing your body scan, note any spaces, places inside your body that might be tense or tight. And hopefully in these next 30 minutes, we can soften in those areas. And now, if you're finished with your body scan, begin to deepen your breath. Allow your belly to expand with each inhale, and allow your belly to fall with each exhale. With each inhale, expand your belly, expand your lungs, and on your exhales, let your belly fall towards your spine, empty your lungs completely. Continue this for 3 to 4 rounds of breath. Now, keep your breath deep and begin to soften. Soften your hips, soften your belly, relax your shoulders. Allow your tongue to be heavy in between the bottom row of your teeth. Relax the space in between your eyebrows. Even relax the space behind your eyeballs. Keep your breath deep and steady. Take 3 more rounds of breath this way. And with each exhale, see if you can soften just a little bit more. And whenever you're ready, slowly blink your eyes open. If your legs are crossed and you're having like any issues in your legs, if you're feeling any numbness or tingling, feel free to extend your legs out straight and shake out your knees just a bit. And we'll be seated for just a few moments longer, so switch the cross of your legs if you'd like, or you can just keep your legs out straight in front of you if you'd like. All right, with your hands on your thighs, feel your seat into whatever you're seated on, and lift and lengthen the crown of your head up to the sky. Now inhale, lift your arms up overhead, and exhale, release your hands down by your side. 3 more times. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, release your hands down by your side. 2 more. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, release your hands down by your side. Last one, inhale, arms come up. Exhale, release your hands down by your side. Now place your right hand outside of your right hip and then lift your left arm up in line with your ear. Breathe into your left side body here. You can gaze down at the ground, you can gaze straight ahead, or even up underneath your arm. Take one more breath here. And on your next inhale, come on up and switch sides. Place your left hand outside of your left hip and inhale, reach your right arm up in line with your ear. Again, you can focus your gaze down to the ground, out in front of you, or up underneath your arm, whatever feels good to your neck. Breathe deep into your right side body. One more breath. On your next inhale, come on up through center. Now place your right hand to your right hip and place your left hand onto your right knee. Inhale, stretch up out of your waist, and on your exhale, twist your torso towards the right. You can gaze straight ahead. You can gaze back over your right shoulder. You can even gaze over your front shoulder. You could feel out all 3 and see what feels good to your neck. This is a gentle seated twist. Take one more breath here. And on your exhale, slowly untwist. Place your left hand to your left hip. Place your right hand to your left knee. Inhale, stretch up out of your waist. And on your exhale, twist your torso to the left. Play with all 3 head placements, looking forward, looking straight ahead, or twisting deep, looking back behind your back shoulder. Take 2 more breaths here. And at the bottom of your second exhale, slowly untwist. Come into table pose at the center of your mat. Table pose is on all 4s. Your hands will be underneath your shoulders. Your knees will be underneath your hips. You can tuck or untuck your toes, whatever feels good or most comfortable to your body. But do take a look at your hands. Separate them shoulder width distance apart and separate all 10 of your fingers evenly. Even pull your thumbs back towards your face. On your next inhale, round your back like a cat. Pull your chin in towards your chest. Scoop your tailbone forward. And on your exhale, cow pose. Allow your hips to move up and back and squeeze your shoulders in towards your spine. Inhale, round your back, cat pose. Press the floor away from you. And exhale, cow pose. Bring your shoulders in. Allow your tailbone to move up and back. 2 more rounds. Inhale, cat pose, round your back. Exhale, cow pose, concave your spine. Last round, inhale, cat pose, round your back. And exhale, cow pose, concave your spine. Come back to a neutral spine. Separate your knees wide and bring your big toes together to touch. And now send your hips back towards your heels and walk your hands forward. This is child's pose. Relax your forehead to or toward the floor. Squeeze your shoulders in, tone your low belly, and press down through your hands to send your hips back towards your heels. Take 2 full rounds of breath here. And when you're ready, start to lift your chest up. Keep your hips as they are and walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. So you're in this like squatted child's pose position. Inhale, float your right arm up to the sky and point your palm down. And on your exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left arm. Bring the right side of your face down towards your yoga mat.
Walk your left hand off of your yoga mat and come up high onto your fingertips. Plug your left shoulder in towards your spine and press down through the back of your right arm in its entirety. Breathe deep. One more breath. When you're ready, press down through your left hand and inhale, float your right arm up. Exhale, release your right hand down. Walk your left hand underneath your left shoulder, and on your next inhale, float your left arm up, palm points down, and exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right arm, thread the needle other side. Walk your right hand off of your yoga mat, come up high onto your fingertips. Plug your right shoulder in towards your spine, and press down through the back of your left arm. Breathe deep into your left shoulder, into your left side body. 2 more breaths. When you're ready, press down through your right hand. Inhale to float your left arm up. Exhale to release your left hand down to the ground. Okay, now take your time and come to stand at the center of your mat. There's no rush. Okay, standing at the center of your mat, this is mountain pose. You can separate your feet hip-width distance apart or bring the inner edges of your feet together to touch. If you have any low back pain though, I would suggest separating your feet hip-width distance apart. Press down through all 4 corners of your feet. Lift your kneecaps up. And now press your tailbone forward to engage your glutes slightly. Tone your low belly. Lift your chest, lift your heart, lift your lungs. Squeeze your shoulders in. You can point your palms straight ahead or towards the center line of your body, whatever feels most comfortable to your shoulders. We'll do 3 half-sun salutations. I'll walk you through them. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. This is upward hands pose. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Relax your head and your neck. Bend your knees as much as you need to get all 10 of your fingertips down to the ground. Inhale for a flat back halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. Extend the crown of your head forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead, upward hands pose. Exhale, release your hands down by your side, mountain pose. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Relax your head and your neck. Inhale, place your hands to your shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead, upward hands. Exhale, release your hands down by your side, mountain pose. Last one. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Relax your head and your neck. Inhale, place your hands on your shins. Reach the crown of your head forward, extend your hips back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead, upward hands pose. Exhale, release your hands down by your side, mountain pose. Place your hands to your hips and get strong through your left foot. Come up high onto your right tippy toes and then turn your heel in towards your ankle. Connect your heel to your right heel to your left ankle. This is tree pose. You can stay here just like this, or place the sole of your right foot to your left calf. You can stay here or bring your palms together at your heart. Press your foot and your leg into one another equally. You want your toes to be pointing down and your right kneecap to be pointing out towards the side. If your knee points in though, don't worry about it, no problem. Now you can really play with balance here, keep your hands to your heart or lift your arms up over your head. This is tree pose. Take 2 full rounds of breath here. Feel your left foot You're strengthening your ankle, strengthening and toning through your left leg. At the bottom of your second exhale, release your hands, release your foot. Place your hands back to your hips for tree pose, other side. Get strong through your right foot. Come up high onto your left tippy toes. Now turn your left heel in and connect your heel and your ankle. You can stay here or place the sole of your left foot to your right calf. You can keep your hands to your hips or bring your palms together at your heart. If you fall out of it, don't worry, it's just yoga. Keep your hands here or reach your arms up overhead for full variation of tree pose. At the bottom of your next exhale, release your hands, release your legs. You can shake it out if you need to. If you need a sip of water, feel free. And now since you're at the center of your mat, go ahead and step to the top of your mat now for we'll do some lunge series now. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale for a flat back halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, step your right foot back behind you into a lunge. Now wiggle your right toes back so you get your heel over your toe mound and then lower your right knee down to the ground. Feel your feet, feel your legs. On your inhale, lift your torso up, place your hands to your hips to start. Now if you need more padding underneath your right knee, you can place a blanket or a pillow or anything you'd like underneath your knee. With your hands to your hips, move your left hip back, your right hip forward. You can stay here with your hands to your hips or lift your arms up overhead. Anytime the arms go up over the head, the heart rate increases. So do what you need to do for yourself today. You can stay here just like this or engage your right glute, work your hips down and forward towards the top of your mat. Tendency when we lower our hips down and forward is for the chest to round forward. Can you keep lifting your chest and your chin, squeeze your shoulders in. Take another round of breath here. And on your exhale, release your hands to frame your front foot. Walk your right hand up and out so it's underneath your shoulder. Place your left hand to your left hip. Twist your torso open to the left. You can stay here or reach your left fingertips up to the sky. This is revolved low lunge. 2 full rounds of breath here. And at the bottom of your second exhale, release your left hand down, tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee up, and step your right foot forward, forward fold. Relax your head, relax your neck. Inhale for a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time, step your left foot back behind you into a lunge. Wiggle your left foot back so your heel's over your toe mounds, and then lower your left knee down to the ground. Feel your feet, feel your legs, and on your inhale, lift up, place your hands to your hips. Move your right hip back, this time your left hip forward. You can stay here just like this, or inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Now bring some engagement into your left glute. You can stay just like this, or start to work your hips down and forward towards the top of your mat. Notice if your chest, your shoulders rounded forward. If they did, no problem. We're just creating awareness here. Lift your chest, lift your chin, and squeeze your shoulders in. Come back to your breath. 2 more breaths. At the bottom of your second exhale, release your hands to frame your front foot. This time, walk your left hand up and out so it's underneath your shoulder, and place your right hand to your right hip. Twist your torso open to the right, stay here, or reach your right fingertips up to the sky. Breathe deep, 3 full rounds of breath.
the bottom of your third exhale, release your right hand down, tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee up, and hop your left foot forward for a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale for a flat back halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead, upward hands. Exhale, release your hands down by your side, mountain pose. Bring the inner edges of your feet as close together as it feels good for your body. Now, if the inner edges of your feet touching doesn't feel good to your low back, feet hip width distance apart is a perfectly safe place to be. Place your right hand to your right hip. Inhale, lift your left arm up in line with your ear. Press down through your feet. Inhale, stretch up. And on your exhale, tilt your torso to the right, hips to the left. Squeeze your legs in towards one another. Press your tailbone forward. Move your low belly up and in. And from your left shoulder, reach up through your left fingertips. This is crescent variation. On your next inhale, come on up and switch sides. So now your left hand comes to your left hip, right arm reaches up in line with your ear. Press down through your feet. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, tilt your torso to the left, hips to the right. Breathe deep into your right side body. Squeeze your legs in. Press your tailbone forward towards your screen. Tone your low belly. Plug your right shoulder in towards your spine. Keep that. And from your right shoulder, reach up through your right fingertips. One more breath. On your next inhale, come on up. Release your hands down by your side, mountain pose. Come to have a seat onto your bottom. And extend your legs out in front of you. Flex your feet, flare your toes, and dig your heels down into the ground. And now frame your hips with your hands, and then lift your chest and your chin. Stay active through your legs by squeezing them in and digging your heels down into your yoga mat. Take 2 more breaths. This is staff pose. At the bottom of your second exhale, release, relax. You can bend your knees and place your hands on tops of your knees for constructive rest. Take 1 more breath here. Come back to your body, come back to your breath. And now bring the soles of your feet together to touch. And let your knees fall open wide. Now the thing with this pose, this is bound angle pose. The closer your heels are to your pelvis, the more intense this pose will feel. So if you're feeling this and you're like, ooh, this is a lot on my hips, just walk your heels away from your hips. And now grab onto your ankles with your hands and then lift your chest and your chin. It's almost like you want to pull your heart through your shoulders. Press the soles of your feet towards one another and breathe. 2 more breaths. At the bottom of your second exhale, slowly release and grab for the outer edges of your thighs and bring your knees towards one another. Again, you can rest your arms on top of your knees, constructive rest. All right, come to lie down onto your back. I'm going to face the side, but your head can face whichever direction you'd like. Okay, once you get down onto your back, bend your knees so the soles of your feet are down to the ground. And then extend your arms open to the side. Now separate your feet mat width distance apart and try to make sure all 10 of your toes point straight ahead. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, let both knees fall over to the right. So you're on the outer edge of your right foot, inner edge of your left foot. This pose is called double diamond.
Flex your feet, flare your toes, and then try to square your torso, your rib cage, up towards the ceiling in your room. Take 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, float your knees up through center. And on your exhale, let your knees fall to the left. So this time you're on the outer edge of your left foot, inner edge of your right foot. Flex your feet, flare your toes, and breathe deep into the space inside your body in which you feel this pose the most. Take 1 more breath. On your next inhale, float your knees up through center and bring your feet back to hip-width distance apart. Bend your right knee in towards your chest and interlace your hands around the right muscle belly of your leg. Straighten your right leg to your capacity. Capacity could mean you have a straight leg with an engaged kneecap. It could also mean a deep bend into your knee. It could also mean a micro bend. Wherever you're at, press your hands and your leg into one another equally and relax your shoulders towards your yoga mat. Now start to pay attention to your left leg. Try not to let it fall out to the side, but hug your inner thigh towards the center line of your body. Take 2 more breaths here. This is a hamstring stretch. At the bottom of your second exhale, release your hands, extend your right arm out to the side, and grab for the outer edge of your right knee with your left hand. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, let your knees fall over towards the left. This is reclined twist. Keep working to square your shoulders towards the ceiling, and breathe deeply here. On your next inhale, come back up through center and release the sole of your right foot down to the ground. Bend your left knee in towards your chest, flex your left foot, and interlace your hands around the muscle belly of your left leg. Now go to your capacity at straightening your leg. Flex your left foot, flare your toes, and press your hands and your leg into one another equally. Relax your shoulders towards your yoga mat and breathe deeply into the back of your left leg. Now bring some attention to your right leg. Don't let it fall open wide, but pull it in towards the center line of your body. Breathe deeply. 2 more breaths. At the bottom of your second exhale, release your interlace. Extend your left arm out to the side and grab onto the outer edge of your left knee with your right hand. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, allow your knees to fall over to the right. Keep working to square your torso, your rib cage towards the ceiling in your room. And breathe deep. Take 1 more breath here. On your next inhale, come up through center and release the sole of your left foot down to the ground. Bend both knees in towards your chest. Reach inside of your legs to grab for the outer edges of your feet and point the soles of your feet up to the sky. If your feet aren't accessible, feel free to grab onto your ankles. This is happy baby. Feel free to rock side to side or stay still. Wherever you're at, keep breathing deep. And at the bottom of your next exhale, release your hands from your feet. Wrap your arms around your shins. This is reclined child's pose. Here you can rock side to side, or you can stay still. Feel free to take any additional movements that your body might be requesting of you. Otherwise, extend your legs out straight And release your hands down by your side. Allow your body to feel fully supported by the floor underneath you. Relinquish all control of your breath. Allow your breath to breathe itself. Feel free to close your eyes. This is our final resting pose, also known as pose of repose, also known as Shavasana. This is the point of our practice in which we let all of the strengthening and stretching we just did to integrate into our body. Relax completely. I'll call you back as soon as it's time, but for now, please enjoy your rest. This is Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe turn your head slowly, gently, side to side. Feel free to reach your arms up overhead and take a full body stretch. Reach your fingertips and your toe tips in opposite directions. And when you're ready, roll to whichever side of your body is calling to you in this moment. Use your bottom arm as a pillow and use your top arm as a kickstand. Take a full round of breath here and notice any shifts in your mind, in your body. And whenever you're ready, slowly, gently press yourself up into a seat to face your screen. Take your time, there's no rush. Feel free to rest your hands on your thighs, or you can bring your palms together at your heart.